Hello and welcome to another beautiful day in Bali. It's a little bit overcast today, which is actually nice. You tend to get one of two extremes here, either tipping it down with rain or full-on powerful sun. So having a bit of overcast weather, it's a bit of a treat. I've spent the last 6 months focusing purely on how to be as efficient as possible with my creative process. So I thought today I'd break down 5 of the most important concepts I've come across and a little bit of how I've applied those to what I do. I consider these to be universal, so whatever you're producing, they should apply to you. Efficiency is your absolute priority. Doing anything admin-based more than once is a complete waste of time. Before you even start creating, properly analyze your workflow. Spending some time to fine-tune this now can save you ridiculous amounts of time later. I can't even put down in words how important it is to know what you're doing before you start doing it. Of course you know what you're doing when you start doing it, but more specifically, I mean knowing your process inside out, why you've chosen it, and what the alternatives are and how what you're doing now is better than those alternatives. Create templates of anything that you have to produce more than once. Ultimately, just know what's actually important to produce the outcome that you're looking for. Don't waste time doing stuff that doesn't really matter. Number 2 is to follow your instinct. Nothing wastes time like pondering on an idea. Trusting my instinct and letting my mind flow into whatever creativity I'm doing without the barrier of contemplation has saved me more time than I can count. Arguably, it's one of the most important lessons I've learned whilst really thinking about this topic. It took around 2 months of properly focusing and being aware of when I'm overthinking something in order to cut it down and reduce this behavior that was holding me back so much. Number 3 is that compromise is a necessity. Time is your biggest enemy. Ask yourself what you can afford to compromise on so that you can spend time on what truly matters. For me personally, the thing that makes the biggest difference is how much I film. So yes, I could get better shots and give myself loads more choice in the edit, but the more that I film, the more footage I have to go through, the more that I have to move around and process and store, the multitudes longer my edit takes. I can get 80 to 90% of the way there to the quality of my product whilst cutting the editing time in half by only filming what I truly need. Number 4 is for all you creatives out there. Don't chase perfection. In other words, make it good, not perfect. Perfection is entirely subjective. If you keep chasing your perfection until you see it as perfect, you are chasing your own ego. That might sting for a few of us. I used to really struggle to let go of a project, and it's something that I'm still working on for bigger videos. For me, the first 70% of creating something happens very fast. The ideas come quickly and I can get it down on paper or in video format very quickly. The next 10% that gets it to a good place takes a little bit longer, but you do have to put time in to make sure that it's a good piece of work. However, that final 20% to take it to that 100% perfection in my eyes takes forever. I could create a whole nother project in that time, rather than going through it and ironing out tiny mistakes that people won't see and redoing entire sections that aren't quite right. In this time, I am only satisfying myself, not the people that will be watching the end product. Finally, we have the approach of rushing for minimal viable product. In my opinion, the worst thing that can happen is that you spend loads of time building something up only to find that it doesn't work and you wasted your time because you have to scrap it, start again, or look at it from a completely different angle. You can learn so much just by building out the skeleton of something before you put in the true time of fleshing it out. This way you can see if the structure stands before you invest time in making it look good and filling it out completely. I hope these concepts gave you something to think about on whatever it is that you're trying to make at the moment. For me, this was a completely different style of video to anything that I've made so far, and I've really enjoyed the process of just talking straight and directly to you. I did want to throw in a bit more B-roll, but it's actually started raining and I don't want to have all my gear out in the storm. Tomorrow's a new day, a new video. Thanks for having me. See you soon.